Good evening, cats and kittens, and welcome to Stoned Hammer. Tonight we're going to play Warhammer Total War 2, the Sisters of Twilight campaign. It just came out. I do use mods. I will add a Cadron's list to the notes so you can find what I'm using if you want to try it as well. But I play all games with mods. If you want to watch the ultra hardcore guy, you know, no look 360 whatever guy, he's out there. That's not me. He's got blue hair. I've got no hair. All right, so new campaign. All right, Sisters of Twilight. These are probably one of the best, I think one of the most fun armies I've played in Warhammer, and I've got 748 hours played currently in this version of the game. So there's a 3 coming out eventually, but I love this game. Anyway, going forward, I've got a couple of the 70s 2 skill point mods installed, AI General, and a couple of Wood Elf specific ones. Again, that'll be in the list, but let's go ahead and start the campaign.
Even the fierce defenders of the Wood Elf Kingdom cannot safeguard their realm from the disorder of the Great Vortex. In the forests of Nagaroth, a portal to the Dreaming Wood grows thin, where beyond, demons rage. The forest grants Queen Ariel a dread vision of ancient trees blackened and broken, of countless wood elves slain upon their twisted boughs. For should chaos breach from their realm, the world roots will carry the demons to the very heart of Athelloren. Only Ariel herself can seal the dire portal. So sends her most trusted to cleanse the forest ahead of her arrival, unaware that a vengeful enemy watches. The Twilight twins, Mistra and Arahan,
will never shut up.
A deadly fusion of dawn's serenity and dusk's fury. They will not waver in their perilous quest. The Mage Queen, vulnerable for the first time in eons, but her hidden foe dare not strike directly. A terrified Skaven is persuaded to lure their twisted overlord to this cause. Throt, master mutator of Clan Moulder, how he yearns to be free of his unnatural, undying hunger. Ariel's pulped remains would be a certain remedy. A queen's implacable guardians oppose a creature of chilling madness. A brutal war is unavoidable. The fate of the forest, undecided.
Okay, very dramatic. There's a lot of talking at the start here. I'm just gonna quickly go through it, because it takes forever, and these 2 girls will not shut up. They have a very long story entrance.
Mistress says, Arahan, the weave here is dangerously out of balance. Yet
I'll give it just a second so you can read. It's nothing really. Okay. All right. So you start off over here in the Witchwood. Fairly quickly you can port to the other 3 bases, and this is the Vortex campaign. There is also a Mortal Empires campaign, and it's huge. Takes forever to get through, so figured for my first set of videos I was just going to try the fast and easy. And I'll scroll through this. Again, you guys can, I'm not going to read it out to you because nobody wants to listen to me read that out to you. Not even me.
The very presence of these emerald horrors imperils our mission, Arahan.
Don't be so coy, sister. Just come out and say, let's kill thousands of orcs.
What matters is
it's kind of like those girls in high school. There was the one that was a lot of fun, but she was always with her sister who was super religious. Yeah, that's who these two are. Except they're both oddly annoying after the first hour. Okay. Amber, plus one legendary. Okay, so you gotta get the Witchwood up to 100 health. And again, I'm just playing this through. I'm not really a good source of information by any stretch of the imagination. Alright. The Wood Elves are probably one of the more fun armies I've played in this game. They used to suck. They used to be the worst. I hated them. But they've got some pretty, pretty unique characters, pretty good graphics. They get pretty powerful later on. Actually, they start off pretty powerful now I think about it. Like any elf, I think this game has always had a kind of a strong leaning for the elves.
Peace will come.
Conflict will follow.
Alright, so I usually go for population first, and then variation in armies. There we go. Alrighty. Your basic starting turn. Get your crap built up that you can, and then kill the feeder armor they send you. Which will be this guy, and we will let it play out.
Battle.
Orcs. Always like the orcs. Alright. So here's going to be showing off one of the mods I use, AI General. I used to play these out. Again, I've got almost 800 hours in this game. But I used to play these out, did all the clicking and pausing, or no pausing, or whatever you want. Again, I'm gonna just let the AI Overlord take control. See if I get this about 2 out of 3 times. So, boom. Doesn't really matter yet. I don't have much magic, and then start. So, AI General will control your guys decently. The reason I use this particular one is it's really good with charging. It's really good at charging in, say, my mounted units here, these cavalry, who are pretty badass looking, you got to admit. Oh, the second I zoom in and they turn away, it's like they know I'm here. But yeah, I mean, tell me those don't look like reindeer. And these are like Santa's elves. It's very seasonal. And they've got red on, red and green on. Come on. I'm going to speed this up a little bit until something starts happening. All right. Let's go over and see what we're looking at over here. I got a second army coming in. We're still going to beat their asses. We got Kirkzuz. I don't think he's a storied legendary lord, so this will probably be a fairly easy fight. Granted, I'm outnumbered 2-1, but Wood Elves with arrows, they haven't even touched us yet, and we've killed half a stack and a third of another. And this is like early game. I've got 2 archers in this group. I guess 3 counting the Hawk Riders. Hawk Riders seem to have a lot of range and very quick momentum. But again, I'm not a strategy guy. I don't care about their stats. Make little elf people kill little goblin people. These guys all look like Lae'zel from Baldur's Gate 3. All the bird riders. Surprised they're not angrily telling me to move faster. Okay, we got a boss here. Where is he? Did I already beat him? Nope, there he is. I used to play out every single one of these games, one of these battles. These days, if one is super simple, I'll just auto-resolve it. You'll lose more troops that way for sure, but it's not a big deal and it saves a massive amount of time. You'll find that you tend to auto-resolve way more once you're at turn 80 than you did at turn 8. It just gets a little tiresome. Although it's still fun. I still like playing, you know, it's like playing the tabletop. I played High Elves for years in the tabletop. Painted a billion little spearmen. I will never paint another chariot. But as you can see, I started with 2 to 1, and it's on normal. I'm not a hard mode player. If you're looking for looking for a skilled gamer, I'm way too old for that. I'm more laid back, easy, chill, pet the cat, drink tea, or scotch, bullet rye. Probably a good thing I can't figure out how to pause my recording. The sisters themselves, they get really freaking nasty. The first time I played them through, I just concentrated on their combat abilities. And it was, I'll admit, it was kind of hard to keep the number of armies I needed, but they were tough as hell. They would eat a bunch of stuff, but for some reason, the one thing I always had a lot of problem with were the lizardmen. I know they're tough in general, but they seem to be especially tough against these guys. Alright, decisive victory. Something they added that I really like, you can mouse over and see what the damage value is of things. So you can see who's slacking. That really sucks or not. I'm just here because I'm pretty. Okay, so the options.
An arrow in the
They've
head.
got, this one's kind of interesting. It gives you not only leadership, which the middle one almost always does, but it gives you missile strength for 3 turns. I'm probably not going to fight again for 3 turns. So there's no use for me getting that. I'll go for treasury just because it's super expensive early on. Okay, and then I'll just take the
When do we
city.
fight?
I'm going to auto resolve this because
Safety.
there'd be no point watching
This is
that.
the life.
They must know disorder.
So here's the options. I used the first playthrough I did.
Make these fools count.
I did clear Heathland every time just because I didn't want to mess with them. Problem was that then the Skaven would sneak in when you were looking somewhere else and set up base there. Next thing you know, you've got 3 stacks of them coming at you. So I like the secure borders a little bit better. I think it's just a better option.
They cannot remain a threat.
It's just me though. Again, do not take my advice on life, health, or video games.
Awaiting duty. Order is all.
So repair your things so you can fight back if something comes after you and retaliation. I always start with the growth stuff just to get the faster I get this witchwood up to max level, the faster the whole game is going to go, really. Oh, here's this. The trick is to get into these middle ones. There's a couple in here. Construction time 25% for all buildings. The worst thing about the Wood Elves is how slow their main buildings, their capitals, upgrade. So you're going to want that, and then you'll get the Purple Queen of, I don't know, hotness and yoga, and she also reduces the construction time. But it takes forever for those things to go from like 3 to 4 to 4 to 5, that sort of thing.
Itching for fresh battle.
All right. Again, sub at ease, so I'm getting 2 skill points per turn. I like the skill points. I'm not going to justify it any further than that. Again, growth. So extra 20 growth wherever they're sitting is going to be helpful. You don't need to grow these. You can just basically ignore them once you take them over. You're going to really want to concentrate on the Witchwood. Everything else can kind of be... I honestly, for a long time, I was taking Ancient City and then letting the Dark Elves take it back, then coming and taking it from them to level my guys up. It was kind of I don't know. I didn't really need to cheese it that bad, though. These guys are pretty powerful, and they're going to basically walk through most things after a while. The earliest part of the game is where you can lose. Where I can lose, you probably won't lose. It's just sort of something about me. Okay, and scout. Always like to have at least one person that can pull off an assassination once in a while. Purple Nurple. And oolong tea
Duty.
with honey.
Adventure.
You'd be surprised how many attempts you have to make to get one video you can bear. I'm doing this because
When
I'm
do we
bored,
fight?
but
Only when necessary.
I didn't realize how much went
Bring
into
me
them.
battle.
And my sound and everything sucks, I'm sure. But I've been looking around playing games, and I didn't see anything where people are using mods or, you know, not doing it on the absolute elite mode. And I just, you know, even when I'm watching videos, I want to relax. So, life is hard enough. Why make your video games hard? That's not a good saying. I'm gonna have to get a catchphrase one of these days. Kill pixels, not people. There you go. All right, couple of ranged. Ranged is really the power for the elves. And then one sticky spear. This early on, I'm not gonna waste money on global. I will use global later. I'm sure it's bad strategy, but I don't care. So in this game, one of the big problems I had last game is I got stuck over here for a long time and couldn't go hit the other areas because I pissed off the Dark Elves right here. So what I'm going to do this time, I think, is go after Malekith because I'm going to have to take, what is it, Clark Haran to get my dragon. So I'm just going to fight Malekith so she survives, and then eventually Mazamundi will come up and take her out. I've never played one of these where he didn't, so... Lord Daith. Okay, this is... I miss these all the time. But Lord Daith gives you guys equipment. And one of the things that always annoyed me
Bloodshed.
is the randomness on the playthroughs on, you know, what kind of equipment you're going to get, that sort of thing. So these girls are have an uncle that's apparently a... it's apparently a smith of some renown. And he makes crap for him every couple turns. And you can even speed that up, but it's kind of handy. You don't have to monkey around with their gear very much, and yeah, it saves you RNG. So, I think I can take this. I think I can.
Attack? Absolutely. Open them up.
All right, and again, this is
It will be a glorious battle.
why not?
Harmony shall reign.
Kick back and watch them do a little fighting. I won't do this every time. Sometimes I like to move through the campaign map faster. In the battle map, I just kind of ignore it. But it is a pretty game, and it's worth seeing. Great name. I love goblins. Okay. Alright. Well, this is just going to be a standard
The season
cakewalk.
of war.
I hear a lot of guys talk about these guys as being somehow powerful or whatever, but I've too many stacks of them and it becomes a problem. Anyway. And start battle. I like to call this Warhammer television. I mean, it's good enough. If I mainly got this for siege battles, which I absolutely hate. I just despise them. But this has made just the overall battle scenes a lot more fun because you're not, you know, frantically pausing and you know, directing this guy to shoot, this guy to shoot, repositioning, adjusting to the reposition. That stuff's fun, but I just don't have the energy. So, long work day, and this is how I like to play video games, and I kind of hope there's others out there that do too.
I'll enjoy this.
I don't know if I should speed these up or not. I know some people really like to see the initial charges and stuff. Ha! That was great. I grew up hunting elk, and those things are terrifyingly huge. I have no doubt they could do this. So as you can see, the AI general is pretty good about controlling positioning. It doesn't do it perfectly. I mean, there any human player that really wants to put the time in could do it better, I'm sure. But if you're like me and you just kind of enjoy the, not really a story, but just the general building the armies up and strategizing on the map, this makes it really easy. And it also, you can use it, unlike some of the other ones I've used, you can use AI General too to do the item quests, like their bows of extreme killingness or what have you. Those battles also annoy me. I don't know why, and it'll get you through them much faster. One thing with this game is city, and somehow the city will survive the attack. You've killed everybody in the garrison, you've won outside the city, and you have to attack it again.
Enjoyed that.
I really don't like that as much, and it doesn't happen every time. Like you see right here, it's not going to happen now because the garrison. When it does happen, the garrison's at half health. I don't know if it's because I'm maybe clicking on the flag of the hero or what, but I still haven't, 747
Make
whatever
these
hours.
fools
I haven't
cower.
figured that out.
The land must be cleansed. They
So-
cannot remain a threat.
One of the reasons I never built cities on those areas was, A, it's fiddly, and B, they have like an incredibly weak garrison. Can get taken over by any wandering, whatever. Skaven that got lost in the trails will wander by and take your city over. So I installed another mod, a specific mod for increasing the garrisons, and I think it's called Wood Elf Garrison Improvements or whatever. I'm hoping that's going to make these a lot less of a pain in the neck to constantly take over again and again and again. So, Untainted, we don't really need that yet. So we'll go Growth.
Bring me battle.
Okay, so in my last game, like I said, I went straight through Ball and Battle and Inseverable. There you go. This time, I think I'm going to initially go to up to where I've got my casualty replenishment up, because in the last game I was on my heels a lot, trying to heal up in between constant incoming damage, and especially when I was taking over Orion's camp, sorry. Things were coming from every direction, so probably not going to do that this time. This is more of a tech test for myself anyway. I'm just making sure this is working. My mic is working. I've got an hour and a half recording of Baldur's Gate 3 that doesn't have my voice. I've got 30 minutes of it that's just my desktop and my voice, but none of the game sounds. So it's been a challenging first day.
Itching for fresh battle.
Well, income is always good.
Night and day. When do we fight?
Only when necessary.
Far too many replies on those girls, I'll tell you. I think when you mouse over something and they reply, I don't think that, I mean, there has to be a way to limit it, give us full, half, whatever. But it's a frustration playing the game, to be honest, after a few hours. And it's just these two, and I think there's a couple of other elves that are annoying like that. But you mouse over a selection button or something, and they've got a 20-second thing to say.
Fungus. While their infection remains, their obscene growth will continue unabated.
You can do it, Nestra. Say the words I long to hear.
Very well. We must eradicate the greenskins.
I love you, sister.
Okay, I'll let you guys consider that for a while, and we will move on. Her stepsister really loves her.
Tempestuous Arahan.
So in this area or this region, I almost always use the world routes
World roots carry us.
because I, again, don't pay attention and I wander into, territory that'll cause injury and then straight into the face of some wandering army. I'm very, very edible. No heroes yet. Okay. And again, I think I missed this last turn. I can't remember. Forest encounters. Take these things out as fast as you can. I had one that I didn't take out because I thought it was just going to be another easy army. It was a massive, like double, two heroes coming at me, Skaven heroes. And that was a nasty fight, so I don't ignore those anymore.
Awaiting duty.
They have my full and willing
Onward,
attention.
Together.
And I missed
This
it.
is a thin
God
joke.
damn it. All right. 10 armor. Okay, so this one's real good to get early. It's just an extra, tick towards getting that tree built.
Let there be peace.
Let there be battle.
You meet with the emissaries of a demigod.
Who won't hesitate to kill in her name.
So I don't give these guys military access. I did once. It was a bad mistake. They immediately took these 3 things and started spreading corruption or whatever the undead taint is across my lands. So, no way.
The sanctity of dawn.
The frisson of dusk.
Refine or reforge. Not worth it right now.
Craftsmanship is impeccable.
A
Bliss.
pointless bloodshed.
Oh, sister.
Well, that was a total wasted turn.
Craving prey. This is the life.
I'm just gonna
We
auto.
fight for the forest. Forgive us. There is no other way. Spreading harmony.
There we go. And then, of course, head back to the city to heal up.
unbridled glory of battle.
Come.
Sanctuary is ours.
You have to zoom in sometimes if you want to actually send them to the city.
Awaiting
That
bloodshed.
panel will pop up right in front of you. You need it, but... Okay, anyway, I think this is pretty good for test. I will be continuing this game in the next video once I make sure my sound and everything is right. All right, well, if anybody's watching this, have a good day and kill pixels, not people.